Good morning to all. It is my great pleasure to invite our privileged Joint Secretary, Sir, Shri Vinit Mathur, Sir, who is himself an IIT engineer and know about the technology and all. Basically, being an engineer, I have a very good opportunity to work under him about 2 years back. We have worked in a COVID time, and that was very, I think, hard time for us. And I learned, I come to understand that as far as knowledge is concerned, knowledge is something different. But as far as a person is concerned, he's a nice. I have never seen a person like him. Always pleasant, always ready to work for the junior officers, ready to help to the junior officers. First of all, I would like to request our Joint Secretary, sir, to kindly inaugurate our workshop. Sir.
Thank you, Ashutosh ji. A very good morning to all the participants to this workshop. This is in a series of very good programs which are Regional Reference Standard Laboratory, Ahmedabad, and the Department of Consumer Affairs undertake. And it is a knowledge series which Ashutosh ji has started in the area of legal metrology, which is an extremely important area. And every one of us is affected on a daily basis by the science of legal metrology. As far as I remember from my college days, legal metrology is the science of fine measurements, and therefore measurements in weights, measurement of time, and measurement of volume and other things all fall under the standardization issues which the department as a policy looks at the legal metrology. It is an evolving area. It is an extremely important area for building the economy. And I understand that the entire industry and the commercial transactions are all dependent on the legal metrology science. So therefore, you can see it is a pillar of the entire economy and industry, and we need to be very good and specific about our standards, our legal metrology standardization, and our reference laboratories, which are all over the country. The industry is coming up with newer items for weights and measures, be it weighing machines, or in the COVID times, as Ashutosh had mentioned, we had seen a lot of import of measuring instruments, especially relating to biomedical and medical equipment, where there is a fine requirement of calibration and measurements. And every one of us is using those instruments nowadays. They have pilfered down right up to our homes, and every home has some sort of a machine which requires a calibration and an understanding. And in the earlier days, we had only a thermometer, but now there are multiple blood pressure measuring machines to maybe a sugar meter, which every home is now having. All these machines require a high degree of assessment, standards, verification, and a calibration, and how they behave when they are pumped in and pumped out. These are the things of great importance. Now, I think today's workshop and seminar is involving a lot of people in industry area, and they'll be benefited by the great, let's say, senior scientists and the specialists who will be speaking here. It will evolve and help the industry and all the listeners, whether they are academic people or maybe the administrators like us who require a policy direction from all the scientists and people of eminence who work in this area. So without taking much of your time, I again stress that legal metrology issues should be given priority in the society because all of us are affected by it on a day-to-day basis, be it going to, let's say, purchase 1 kg of wheat or rice, or be it buying the high, scientific equipments like BP meter and many other equipment are there. We are affected on a daily basis by use of the fuel dispensing machines, which are also being calibrated and standardized by our legal metrology science. So with these words, it affects the entire industry. I hope today's deliberations will help in bringing us much further into what can be the new initiatives, which, of course, as a country and a society we can take, and how far we can harmonize with the international level of things. We are already working in advanced projects from the government on the time dissemination area also, which is of extreme importance for the society and the country. And I hope whatever are the topics which are discussed today, we'll take home some, recommendations which can be possibly be implemented and made into a policy by the government. With these words, I thank Ashutosh and I wish this particular today's deliberations a success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. You are always a light of hope behind us for the legal metrology. We always see towards you for a help, for a support to do better in the society in the field of legal metrology. Thank you very much, sir. As you have a lot of experience, international, national exposure, certainly, sir, we will be benefited from your experience and exposure. And I would like to continue you take your help in future also. Thank you very much, sir, for kindly for blessing us. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we have today with us Dr. Ashish Ranjan from the National Physical Laboratory. Today's subject is basically cyber security. What is the meaning of cyber security? How we are working in the field of legal methodology? How we will help the society through this cyber security? The topic is cyber security, and we have with us our esteemed expert, Dr. Ashish Ranjan, who is the head in the National Physical Laboratory in computer section, and he is holding a lot of other things in different departments. He is the member, he is the chair of different scientific organizations, societies. I would like to request Dr. Ashish Ranjan to kindly share his thoughts. Sir, please.
Thank you, Ashutosh ji, for giving me an opportunity to discuss with you all people and interact with you all people. And actually, I was briefed by Ashutosh ji that this audience will be a mixture of students and professionals of other domains and some IT professionals also. So I have tried to keep it some kind of modulated kind of thing, modular kind of thing, in which I have briefly touched upon various dimensions related to cybersecurity. It is not very in depth. It is an introduction, but multi-dimensional introduction. Maybe someday we can go for an advanced lecture. So this is just a brief why or how this lecture has been designed. And let me share it first. My share is not enabled, share content.
Santosh ji, please give him the share option.
Yes, sir. Given.
Actually, our NIC team is continuously working behind the whole show. They are the person due to which we are actually able to do these type of programs. On holidays, working days, they are always working.
Yes.
Santosh, have you enabled Professor Ashish's content sharing? Yeah, we can see the screen now.
Are you able to see my slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we are able to see.
Yeah, so it is a cybersecurity lecture, and it is a thorough introduction in the sense that it is an introduction, but a multi-dimensional introduction in the sense of from the end user, which is a naive user who is just a consumer of the IT equipment, how he should approach the cybersecurity, some IT professional tools, and from the organizational point of view, how to approach cybersecurity and how to keep some frameworks updated so that you can deal with it. So this is the agenda. Now, this cybersecurity is just a protection of computer systems and networks from the information disclosure. That is, there are some proprietary or personal informations which you do not want to be disclosed, or criminal, the cyber criminal wants to not just steal the data, or he may also want to disrupt the services, not just the theft of the data. So if he disrupts the service, that also is a cyber crime. So in the cyber security, there are various elements like today you have network security in the sense that if there are two different nodes, if they are communicating, so you are not attacking the end nodes. You are securing or you are attacking the network, so you have to secure the network also. Now this is application security in the sense that you have various applications running either as a web application or a desktop application. So you are not bothered about the network itself, you are bothered about the application vulnerabilities. So this is also one element of the cyber security. This is endpoint security in the sense that various endpoints like various laptops, various PCs, those constitute the endpoints. So endpoint security, you have endpoint like antivirus security solutions and all that. So in that sense, the whole node itself or a whole endpoint itself is secured. So and then the data security in the sense that the data may be lying either in your PC, but it may also be lying in the server. So you cannot trust even the employee who is dealing with that data as per mandate. So he should not be having access to all the data which is not pertinent to his job. He should only access the assigned job related data. So that like in the private company, if he has been given the database access, so he will have the entire application related data access, but maybe he is not needing the credit card information related in column. So in that sense, the data security is different from a different domain from or a specialization from the network application and endpoint, that it is related, but it is very much stressed as a data itself. Now, first I will come to mobile security because there is a lot of data in mobile today. Apart from contact information, various people store their certificates, this, that, various various personal data also in the mobile. So in that sense, there are various mobile security solutions also coming. And then there is a cloud security in the sense that various like in government sector also we have NIC cloud in which we host our applications. So in that sense, you must be knowing that NIC will time to time they will remind you that whether you have secured your application which is hosted on the NIC cloud or not, or maybe on the private cloud also. And now coming to the disaster recovery, so this is the element in the sense that you have taken care of everything, but in case there a disaster happens, then what is your plan for that or business continuity process, that is this BCP. So what is the plan that in case you have even dealt with all these elements, all the security, but still if disaster happens, what is your plan for that? So these are the various domains or various elements of the cyber security. Now, why the cybersecurity field as such is important to study? So we already know that internet usage is very much growing rapidly in India in the sense that earlier it was a tool for educated, learned people or maybe students, but now you can see that even a very grassroots kind of person who is selling vegetables, they were earlier having normal mobiles, but they are now also having the smart mobiles. So they have also various kinds of data there. So the internet usage is growing very much rapidly, and it is penetrating in the largest section of the thing. In with especially with the this Digital India mission of government. So that is also now spreading very much far beyond in the villages also. So people generally apply their e-governance related forms from that. So it is very much pertinent now that even villagers have joined this internet usage. So it is very important. Now, with this increased usage, the increasing attacks are very much of a concern. And we have seen that by this year, end of this year, the worldwide market is 133.7 billion as prediction by IDC, which is a credible agency. And with that, we have various competing organizations which are threat to our national security. So right from the villages to the enterprise to the national security. So this is again a very important topic that you have military, you have various things, but still the IT professionals can contribute to national security with their domain knowledge. And then various vendor lock-ins, you must be knowing that earlier various services like even NTP itself, you must be knowing that earlier this Windows operating system was referring to windows.time.com or something like that. So but government thought that no, if tomorrow some calamity happens or some restriction happens, then we should not depend upon other vendors or other vendors belonging to other countries in case of national security. So in that sense, government has mandated the NTP service to be referred to the within India services itself. In the same sense, government is preparing for various things in which various kind of private vendors are welcome in India, but in the case of various very critical services, we would like to avoid the vendor lock-in. That is, we are not subject to windows.time.com, which is belonging to Microsoft, or like nest.gov, which is belonging to US standards organization. So we will like to have a vendor-free country-hosted service. And this data loss is also very much happening. You must be knowing that this private service lost this much data and that. So, and apart from that, with increased internet usage, with increased security threats, the lots of complexities have crept into IT staff. Same IT staff is dealing with the day-to-day operations. Same IT staff is dealing with cybersecurity, web hosting, this, that. So in that sense, we have to be in the frontly in the sense that our some staff should be aware with the latest cyber threats, and he should be specializing, at least one or two staff should be specializing in the cyber security area itself. He should be dedicated into that, so that the same IT staff is, if he's focusing on n number of areas, then he will not be able to contribute much from the cybersecurity point of view. So let us dedicate some resources, some dedicated resources to that, so that the cybersecurity threats of the organization can be dealt with. In the same sense that if we host our applications on the cloud service provider, like not only NIC, there are various private vendors which have been certified by NIC for hosting, and they have this eligibility list. So in that sense also, it is very much pertinent to ask from the cloud service provider that whether they have done the background check, like in tender, it can be asked or something like that. So in that sense, what I'm saying is that the cybersecurity professional of the organization should have a mindset that he should be not giving trust to anybody, I mean, very lightly with the organizational data. So in that sense, the cybersecurity mindset has to be developed while framing the tenders with the private vendors. So and there is one new development that now various companies are like even Microsoft or Google, they are giving very large sum of money for detecting software flaws in their products. Recently, many lakh of rupees have been won by an Indian person who detected some vulnerabilities in Microsoft product. So this is a separate interesting area for new students. So in that sense, this cybersecurity is a very attractive area, and it is going to be a very attractive area, in even more attractive area in the future. So in that sense, there is a very big opportunity in the sense of cybersecurity for newcomers, for students, for new professionals. Now, this is just a basic building block. that information security has three basic building blocks, which is called CIA. CIA is for confidential, integrity, and availability. That is, confidentiality means that only the person for which the data has to be there, which is it meant for, only that person should be able to access that data, not the other person. Integrity in the sense that the data truth should not be tampered with. So in that sense, it should be protected so that if somebody has manipulated the data after a long period, if it is caught upon, then there will be a big problem with the organization. So in that sense, the integrity has to be protected, and availability, that is whenever the data needs to be available, then it has to be available. So this is the basic building theoretical block. Now coming to attacks and vulnerabilities, there are some types in which we can categorize these attacks. That is cybercrime, cyber attack, and cyber terrorism. Cybercrime is like some individual has hacked your phone, and he has uploaded some malicious app in the mobile app, and then using that app he has taken some private data of your mobile phone. That is a normal cyber crime. And then there is a cyber attack. It is a very much organized attack. Like if your site has been hacked, like if an organization, government organization site has been hacked by, say, like a group of people, so that that organizational site is defaced, various wrong text have been put into that, then that is a coordinated attempt, not a haywire kind of attempt. That is called cyber attack. Many times people club these together, cyber attack and cyber crime together. These two, many people club it. And third is cyber terrorism. Like if, say, tomorrow there is a say kind of organization or some group of people who inflates they intrude into the power grid of the country, of a country, and then they put it on a ransom that, okay, give me this much money, then I will release this and that. So this kind of thing is a terrorism which is done through the computers. So this is a cyber terrorism. So now various kind of vulnerabilities and attacks can be done. You must have seen these in some other literature also. So I have kept it very small. Like DDoS attack, this is distributed denial of service attack, in the sense that like if I have one service in which like this is one service. Now, if I attack on this, then this will still continue to give service to other clients. But if I do not find any vulnerability on this, I attack on this, I do not find any vulnerability, but say its bandwidth is, say, 100 Mbps. Now, what I do is that although the system is secure, that is, it has no vulnerability which I can exploit. But what I do is that I do not exploit this thing, I mean this router or this service of from the customer. What I do is that I hack into various PCs or systems around the world, and then I give a command that these clients which are actually actually vulnerable, which have been not been protected, these hacked clients now continuously want service from these servers. So what will happen is that if this 100 Mbps is meant for, say, 50 clients or 100 clients, something kind of response. But now if tomorrow 1,000, 1 million people or hacked clients, they start accessing this server because this hacker has hacked these clients, then this 100 Mbps will be choked, this bandwidth will be choked. And then although this router or these servers are actually very much secure, the system administration has taken all the care, but still even then this 100 Mbps bandwidth is choked, so he will not be able to serve the genuine clients. He will not be able to serve this genuine clients. So hence this is called distributed denial of service. That is, he is not able to exploit the vulnerabilities in the code, but rather he is attacking on distributed way, that is from various clients, and then he is somehow able to not he is somehow able to geopartize the system in the sense that they are not able to service their genuine clients. So this is one thing. Second is phishing. Phishing, you must have seen that sometimes people give you some WhatsApp link, and if you click that, then you will see that this is some kind of fake Facebook kind of page, or some different kind of like Government of India kind of website page. So in that sense, it is a phishing site, and it is made a look like of the same genuine site, and then people are asked to give their data like Aadhaar card data or something like that. Government has made up this scheme, so you just enter this and they will give one this वो जो इंडिया का जो एम्ब्लेम है जो चार शेरों वाला, so they will put all those kind of emblems there so that it looks like genuine government site. But if you see the URL, the address, then you will see that this is just a fake site. But many people are not able to distinguish that and they will see that okay, it looks like some kind of government site or Google site or Facebook site, and they will just put their personal data, user ID, password, something like that, and then they will their user ID password, like say fake Facebook page. Now they have entered their user ID password on a fake Facebook page. Then the hacker has collected all this information into his database, and then although the Facebook.com itself is not having the vulnerability, it is not having any security issue, but still without hacking the Facebook itself, he has collected all the data from the end user who is gullible, who is not able to differentiate between the fake Facebook page with a different URL and the genuine Facebook page. Then he will be able to log in with his supplied user ID and password into the actual Facebook.com site. So this is the method of the phishing kind of attack. Third is privilege escalation. That is on the server, you give the access, where you give access to various people with separate kind of role. Like in case of server administration, if you give a user that you will be able to host only this application one, but he is now login through that, and now he is able to access the space or the privilege of app 2, then it will be called privilege escalation. That is like from your day-to-day thing, like if you have a office application, or if you have a ERP application. Now somebody has logged in, say using as a employee role, but tomorrow within employee role he has some limited access. But although he is not a kind of section in charge, but he somehow gets the section in charge privilege escalation using some vulnerabilities, then he will be able to do the section in charge kind of privileges. So this is kind of privilege escalation attack. That is, he has a genuine login and password on that system, but still he has exceeded the given privileges. Fourth is backdoor. That is,
Ranjanji, if I may come in here, I
yeah,
have seen some cases where, especially in the private organizations, very big multinational companies, and this is supposed to be a very big misconduct of privilege escalation. There are officers who vie or try to get into the board meetings, which were possibly being done, let's say, online, and there was no privilege. But as you have rightly mentioned, they had some sort of a software or a position where they were able to get that into that vulnerability, and were able to peep into the let's say the board meeting. So a lot of big executives have been taken to task after due diligence or an analysis of the software and who exactly got into when, and who tried to attack it. So these are very practical points which you are mentioning, and it's happening in the industry. In fact, in the government itself, we have seen some cases where when you possibly escalate the meeting numbers, earlier there were no, let's say, control systems. People from all and sundry who were not authorized to probably listen to into those meetings were possibly connecting to those particular web meetings. So this is a very practical point, and I think it's an extremely important point. And the methods which you are probably discussing are very practical examples are available, a lot of them. So I thought maybe let me interject. It may be of interest to the students who are listening. Thank you.
It was a very great example in from the practical life, and I will just show some cyber law related kind of approach towards that in the end of the slides, and it will deal with that. It was a very great example. Thank you. Now coming to backdoor, what it does is that uh, say for example there is a encryption algorithm which is claiming that it will zip all your files and it will and you put your password so that nobody will be able to unzip it without giving password. But what happens is that say in that mathematical algorithm itself a backdoor is built in that is like kind of Trojan algorithm. So if there is a backdoor built in so that without even giving password, the creator of that algorithm or the backdoor creator of that backdoor algorithm, he is able to unzip the data without the password. So this is a kind of backdoor kind of thing. And the example of this in practical life can be like in the sense of you have some kind of you can say you have these password manager sites you must have seen in which they say that you put all your passwords in our website and you just have a master password, and then we will not also be, we means the website provider of the password management, we will also be not be able to see that password. You just put in your all the password, credit card information and all that, and then we will manage it with the master password. But you don't know if there are lots of backdoor kind of things built in. Like for example, in recent times, the concrete example is this: there was an email service provided as a very secure, extremely secure, not Gmail, not something. It was a different kind of domain. Which was provided as very secure and it cannot be hacked, and it is free from any backdoor kind of data access by the email service provider. So various people jumped onto that, but later on it was found that a major country, I will not name it, a major country spying agency itself had implemented that website, and they had all the data from all the countries. So this kind of backdoor implementation of the algorithm, the security algorithm itself, was a threat to the end user. In the case of social engineering, like earlier people thought that social engineering means like they will say on phone that you give me OTP or you give me like your password and I will enter it, and then on the phone the person is giving, or like in a party somebody has met and then they say that okay, what is your this site or this login or this password, and then somehow they will extract that from the end user and they will put it. But now the social engineering has become sophisticated in the sense that sometimes people, what they will do is that, say just in case they have a car, and they what they will do is that they sometimes people will put the number of the car in as a password, or say birth date of their child as a password. So sometimes what people do is that like they collect the Aadhaar card from you. You have written everything that okay, this cannot be used as KYC in any other thing, although I'm submitting here. You have done all the thing, but still it is having that personal information of yours. So if it so if they collect that this Aadhaar card information, say they collect from your car number from your whatever wherever this car is standing in the colony. So they collect all the personal information and they will see that okay, out of 100, maybe 10 or 20 people may have used this kind of personal information based password generation. So sometimes this social engineering does not mean to ask exactly your password, but rather it is collecting the data around you itself. So these kind of sophisticated social engineering has come up. Spoofing, it is uh, your data has to go from node 1 to node 2 via server 1. Now, what will happen in spoofing that a attacker will come and instead of server 1, he will put his own server in the network and your data will go to from node 1 to node 2. That is not an issue, but it will go through his own custom server, which is spoofing itself as a server 1. So in that sense, it is a mistaken identity kind of thing, which is generated on the network, and then he's able to capture all the data which is being transmitted. Although the data has transmitted from N1 to N2, node 1 to node 2, but still he has taken hold the data in between. Malware is like the last one. The malware is like it is on your PC, some kind of you have downloaded some software on the third party side. Maybe it is you don't know that software, or and you are trying to use that, or maybe sometimes happen like say you are downloading VLC. Now VLC is available from the its own VLC music player is available from the its own homepage, but instead of downloading from homepage, you are downloading it from the third party downloading sites. So sometimes some malware is injected into that, and then it will be residing on your PC, and then everything which you type or whatever data is on your PC, that will be there. So now actually these methods are many times known by people, so I have not gone into very much depth. I've just introduced them. Now, I'm just giving an overview of some tools which can be used to see your information if it is not secure. Like this is nmap. This nmap, using this like this command, I can this is just a sample command. I can see that which ports are open on that server or on a PC on which I have to attack. So it is showing that like nmap and whatever command is there, and it is showing that port number 21, port number 22, 80 is like web server, 443 is like HTTPS, the secure HTTP. So those webmin is a separate kind of web administration. So from this itself, he will be able to see that okay, webmin, that is web-based system administration, is running on port number 10,000, and now he will coordinate his attack on the 10,000 itself. So this is an example of nmap tool which can discover the host, and whatever, if there is a host, I mean, it will, if nmap, you can give a command that from this IP range to that IP range, I mean, the end range, you just see that which which hosts are there. Then it will list all the IPs which are actually alive. Now on that IP, you can see which ports are open. So you can make a list of that. You means the attacker can make a list of that, and then it will attack a selected service. So this kind of tool is there. This is Wireshark. This Wireshark is a packet analyzer in the sense when whatever your PC is sending from this PC to another PC or a router or something, then obviously every time a TCP packet is traveling, maybe like even if it is an HTTP, then HTTP down the line it will broke down to a TCP packet. So all those TCP packets can be read from this using this tool, this Wireshark tool. So using this, like from this, it is going to this, from this IP, it is going to this, and it is able to dissect all the information that in the headers. Now, if it is a you can see that this is TLS, transport layer security. So if it is a TLS based encryption, which is like HTTPS uses, so if it is a TLS and something, so it will be encrypted data even though its header is there. But if it is unencrypted data, just in case, then the person sitting on the network itself using this tool, he can capture all the data and he can know various things about it. So this is also free and open source tool. It is not, there's no need to buy. It is just free. This is a Metasploit. This is a last just sample example I'm giving. This is a Metasploit. In this, we have like we already know. We means the security professionals already know that these are the vulnerabilities in the say some kind of software is there, and in that software version 6.2 has come. Now before that 6.1 version of some software, in that these vulnerabilities were there, these security vulnerabilities were there, which had been fixed on the version 6.2. Now, as there is a known database of vulnerabilities in 6.1, which has been already fixed in 6.2, but you can appreciate the fact that various people do not upgrade, even though a new version has come, but they will continue to use the old version. So now this Metasploit, what this does do is that people can this is a framework. Actually, in this framework people write their own vulnerabilities exploiting patches, and then using that this Metasploit can attack that system, and then those vulnerabilities which were in 6.1, although fixed in 6.2, it can scan that, okay, which nodes are using still say 6.1 version. I'm just giving an example. Then it will attack all those systems and hack them. And like all these scripts, which is Metasploit scripts, all those scripts are many times already made and pre-packaged. So sometimes people have to just download and run that vulnerability attack. So they do not even have to code the Metasploit vulnerabilities. They have to just use those scripts and then just attack them. So in that sense, like you can see that this has detected that, okay, on this Linux vulnerability and all that, this version, one vulnerability has been found. So now it is giving you that whether you want to load it or you can attack it or something. So you just click it and it is done. So now the attackers have also got very user friendly tools and all that. So apart from everything getting user friendly, this now attack is also getting very user friendly. So now I will give you some case studies. Like for example, this NTP amplification attack. In this, this is a case study of how some attacks have been done or some vulnerabilities have been done in very important areas. Like in this, like say there is a attacker who sends an NTP server, like he has to attack a node which is having IP, just for an example, 1.1.1.1. Now he doesn't intend to attack the NTP server, but what he will do is that he will try to attack 1.1.1 using the NTP server. How he will do is that, like in this NTP server, there is a monlist command. What he will do is that he himself will spoof himself as a host 1.1.1.1, and now he will send a command monlist. This is just a command, which is a very brief command, but it will send a large amount of data. There is a monitoring listing command. So it will send a large amount of data to the target node, that is say 1.1.1. So the 1.1.1 node, if it is sent lots of data from various NTP servers across the world, although he has never asked it, but a spoofing attacker has asked it on his behalf. Then every NTP server will try to send this large amount of data to the 1.1.1, and all his bandwidth will be getting choked. So in that sense, it can be this NTP response can be amplified, and then it can be used to put a node down. This was the case earlier, but now in the latest NTP thing, it has been fixed. So in the latest NTP protocol, this problem is not there. But I was just giving an example that it was being done, and NTP attacks were a very real case which were being used by attackers. Now, if somebody with all this discussion, somebody may think that okay, it is just an issue of a desktop, it is an issue of small networks, organizational networks. But even satellite telecom companies, they are also not immune to these attacks. So you can just see this thing like. There were various satellite telecommunication systems which were even used by hackers, and then they use those satellite systems to attack other nodes, something like that. So this kind of big ticket systems, like I mean, in the sense of satellite things, they are also not immune to this cyber attacks. So those things also, not just desktop, not just laptop, not just mobile, these things are also very much pertinent for cybersecurity professionals. In this also you can see that this ship satellites communication systems in this various just this backdoor, as I had given you example, then you can see that it had a backdoor account in which privilege access, as I had said in this you can see so privilege access I have already told you, this is being used with a backdoor account here, oh sorry, backdoor account here, and then SQL injection in login form. So multiple things have been brought together, and then it was attacked. So this ship satellite communication system, which was far off from the land, but still it was attacked. So this is a fourth thing. It was not attacked, but it was a different thing. Like sometimes what happened is that whatever the system clock is actually there, but the system clock is not in sync with the actual time. So what happened is that router logs, router was attacked. Router was attacked, and router was recording that this event happened at some X time, but attack was happening at actually Y time. So various devices were reporting various kind of timings, that this happened in this device 1 at time T1. This happened at in device D2 at time T2. Although everything happened at the same time, but in that case what happened is that as the timings in every device was different, so what happened is that the log collation kind of algorithm, which actually collates all the logs and tries to discover the attacks and various things, various vulnerabilities, they could not congregate that data because timings were different. So the relationship between those data was not able to achieve. So that's why the attackers were not able to caught. I mean, they were not caught and they were not prosecuted. So this is also a different case study in which the syncing through NTP for cybersecurity is important. So this is one another case study. Now, what should be our mitigation strategy? That is how to deal with it. Till now, I have given you what are the vulnerabilities in the real world. Also, I have given you some case studies, but how to mitigate that? Now, some well-known approach to mitigation is that, like I had given few examples of few tools. There are n number of tools, but just for an example, I had given some tools using which people can, I mean, attackers can utilize that system information. You can, what we can do is that the white hackers, like there are three kind of hackers. One is white hacker, one is black hat, and another is gray hat hacker. So the black hat hacker, he's a bad guy who wants to intrude the system, make a benefit out of it, personal benefit out of it by threatening people or exposing those information. But white hat hacker, what he does is that he hacks the system or tries to hack the system for the benefit of the system. That is, he will try to use those tools themselves, but he will try to, after getting the information, he will try to inform the system administrator or the manager that you have got these vulnerabilities, so people can fix them. So in return, he may get money or something like that. So in this case, what we can do is that Nmap, Wireshark, Nessus, these tools which attackers use, what a white hat hacker can themselves or an organizational person themselves who knows these tools, they can themselves attack their own systems using these tools so that they can see the vulnerabilities and they fix it. Rather than waiting that somebody black hat guy, they come to our system and then they see these vulnerabilities waiting from them. Apart from what we can do is that we can attack our own system and then see using those tools and see that what vulnerabilities are there and then fix those vulnerabilities. Another is that there are various services, cloudflare.com and various Akamai. So those systems are there which do the DDoS mitigation. So in the case of distributed denial of service attack and all those, we can use these third-party services, or we can make our own service like that. So this can also be used for DDoS kind of attack mitigation. Now, from the information security point of view, that is the data management and the data security management and all that, there is an standard ISO 27001. This can be implemented in the organization so that you can say a structured approach to information security can be done. And there can be, as I had said, that some staff can be, or some people can be put for some security kind of thing dedicatedly or focused on that. So a security operations center can be made so that people can be focused on that, apart not just on n number of things, but rather focused on this, and then they can take care of it in a 24/7 manner. So top 10 best practices for cybersecurity as an individual, like you have, you must have be having Windows firewall or something like that. But apart from that, various milestones or endpoints, organization can put more firewalls. Another is like the security software or Windows update can be updated. Strong password, multiple factor, like you can see that these days in Gmail you get OTP before login. There is a feature that you give password, and even in if you have the email.gov kind of access to email, then you have this Kavach thing. So multiple factor are not just password, but also the Kavach OTP is also put into that. So this is a multiple factor. You keep your regular data backup. Many a times people think that okay, your data is on PC, but they forget to take a data backup regularly. So, and raise awareness among employees that we are currently doing. Monitor third-party controls, whatever third-party vendors have installed in your system. You should have a regular checkup on that whether that you have taken care of on your own system, but you have not checked them. So you have to take care of that. Ignore pop-ups, links, unnecessary message, in the sense that sometimes you get SMS or WhatsApp message with unnecessary links. So you don't try to click that. Or sometimes if you are surfing website, then you get malicious pop-ups which say that your system is infected. You try to click this and all that. So those things you should ignore. All the normal users, even if you are overwhelmed with work, so even if you just put it down, but still if you have some privileged users for that system, for an ERP system or for something, you can monitor through logs that okay, some suspicious things are not happening, somebody has not given the high privilege attack usage. And prepare the cybersecurity policies, like some proper guidelines which is should be approved by the higher management. So these things are you can consider as a cybersecurity policy. Sorry, CA. You can consider as a cybersecurity 10 best practices. Now I'm just giving you further for further study some relevant links. This CSK is Cyber Swachhata Kendra by the MIT ministry. They have this security best practices. You can see the link csk.gov.in / security best practices. So I'm just giving these links for further study. So you get this PDFs related to these securities. So end users can benefit from this. Now, even after taking all these precautions, all everything, even then cybercrime happens. Then what do we do? Then there is the government has set up this cybercrime.gov.in. You can see that there is a file a complaint thing. So one can go here and file a complaint immediately there. So in the sense that even if you do, but nothing is perfect. So even after this much in the system, you will have somebody may have unfortunately some kind of cybercrime happening. So in that case, this is the must thing. Now, as a professional, what you can do, as like I had said this as an end user, this cyber swachhta kendra, and then this is a normal thing. This can be done by anybody. But this is as a cybersecurity professional, what you can do, that there is a certain .org.in. This is a government agency under MIT. So they keep publishing the latest security alerts. Like I have just taken this screenshot recently. So you can see that on 1st July, June 29, they have put some vulnerabilities. So if there is somebody is a cybersecurity professional or a wannabe cybersecurity professional, then he can keep himself updated from this government of India site, and he can regularly read it. So these are things. Now coming to this was a preparatory kind of section till now. Now coming to the security standards. Now we are moving to the enterprise topic. So as an introduction to security standards, I will say that we have these standards like ISO 27001. This is a very fairly robust model, and you can create your information security management system using this ISMS, and you can monitor, review, and you can there is a full blown this information security framework into this. This is in itself a large topic. So, but still you can see that apart from this ISO 27711, this is a ISO 22301, which is a business continuity management plan. Like recently, somebody had in a data center in Chennai, say, and there was a large scale flood in Chennai for a long time. Now, if somebody had a data center in Chennai, say some South Indian organization has some data, so but they cannot stop their operation just because they had data there. So you have to have a business continuity plan for that. So they can have a separate data center in north or something like that, or move to a vendor which has a BCP. So in that, these two standards go hand in hand, in the sense that you just do not make your BCP plan in air. There is a standard ISO standard. You just base your plan based on this ISO. There is a NEST cybersecurity framework also, which is almost you can say for the same purpose, but still many organizations implement this also. So because it has some different goals also additional to this. So in this, the same thing can be done. That is how to prevent the cybersecurity threats and something like that, and how to detect. So all these standards are the main backbone of the cyber security in a you can say structured manner. Now coming to the cyber law, from this dimension, I am focusing on the cyber law in India. So even if a cyber security you have taken care, you have um, uh, still you had some incidents in your organization, you could file that cybercrime.gov in complaint. But okay, that is a thing. But still, the cyber security professional or a person who is you can say responsible for cybersecurity in the organization, he should know the various laws which has been devised by government in this area, so that time to time he can make it aware, make his employees aware that what is allowed and what is not allowed as per legal framework. So in this IT Act, 2000, you already seeing that it had come into force in 17,001. Earlier, what was happening is that although people were using internet, but still there was no legal recognition for transactions. Now, with this act coming into picture, this legal stand-by was there. In court, it could stand that okay, if there is this transaction, then it will be I mean recognized by courts. Now, this government, you are seeing the big push for e-governance. Now, this framework, this act gave the base for the electronic filing of documents. Like you can see this, you can say income tax. So you are filing this that electronic filing thing, and that has a legal standing. It is not just you are filing a normal document with this. It is a very crucial document for government. So there is a legal facilitation through this IT Act and the digital signature for authentication. So this is also recognized by this because there has to be a legal framework for everything. You just can't say that there is an IT. You can say that okay, there is an IT technology for a digital signature, but until and unless digital signature is recognized by the law of land, till then you could not sign your income tax return with that. Now, as it is recognized by this IT Act, then only you do not need to sign and print out and then send the acknowledgement form to say Bangalore information sorry income tax. You can just away sign there the using digital tool. Now, after that, this Income Information Technology Amendment Act 2008 came. In this, salient feature was that earlier it was focused on giving the legal recognition of various things. Now, in this modification or amendment, was a more focus on data privacy and security. So those things were there, and cyber terrorism is what it should be the role of computer emergency response team, this certain and all that. So those things inspector. Now, earlier there was no role of that. What happens if a government agency wants to introspect your organization? But now an inspector can come and he can investigate the cyber offenses in your organization based on these amendments in the act. Now coming to, I'm just giving some examples. This in this IT Act, you can see that these fines are there. Tampering with computer resource document. If somebody has done 2 lakhs, hacking 5 lakhs, cyber terrorism imprisonment up to life, cheating this. So all these are already put in. So our country is now has put in very detailed frameworks for that. Now, after this law, till now it was just act and all that. Now, after coming to that, we have now cybersecurity policy also in picture. This from government. So this is effective from 2013, and there is a policy framework from DT, and it is this policy is not a law. It is just recommending that that as a nation what we should do on what is our plan to implement this and that. So this is a overall policy in a long term that what government of India intends to do about cybersecurity. So whatever organizational cybersecurity policy has to be framed up, that before that it has to be seen that whether it aligns with the government of India or national cybersecurity policy. So this thing is also there. Now these are some further if somebody wants to study. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your very interesting and informative lecture. We come to know something about the cyber security, cyber laws, IT Act. But sir, I think that we need some more interactions on this subject because it is very new and interesting subject. And I hope that in India, many people does not know. Even in my family, my wife does not have ATM card. She does not have any internet link. She said, oh, I have it out of it. Whatsoever I will do, I will only use the check. There will be no problem at all. So what I feel, the people have a fear in their mind that the account may be hacked or some amount may be transferred from here and there. So basically, I think that it is very important. Santoshji, can you give me the sharing right, please? So what I was thinking, so it is very important. I would like to share very few things because you have actually done most of the things which I wanted to share, because I have about 15-20 minutes more. So I like to share some of the things which we have with us. If I just go through the Professor Janet Rufford, who says about the cyber security, the only system which is truly secure is one which is switched off and unplugged, locked in a titanium safe, buried in a concrete bunker, and is surrounded by nerve gas and very highly paid armed guards. Even then, I would not stake my life on it. So basically, when we talk about the cyber security, as we see, after doing all of them, even after the security is not actually, we can say we are confirmed about it. Actually, security matters, if we say, there is nothing like absolute security. Because if we talk about the security, I think that the security is being given to the President of America is I think it is the highest security, but he has also been killed. So basically security is again a relative term. Up to what extent you are giving the security and what the others have the option to break it. We are only trying to build comfort levels because security costs money and lack of it costs much more. Comfort level is a manifestation of efforts as well as a realization of their effectiveness and limitations. So basically, I'm just taking the very brief about the things, what we have done since 2013. As we are now, I think we are moving towards the third economy of the world. We are running towards the third economy, and I hope that very soon we will be the third economy of the world. What we feel, Digital India program has completely transformed the national cyberspace. Number of attacks have gone up from 49,455 in 2013 to more than 14 lakh cyber incidents in 2021. It is as per CERT report. Multiple organizations have been raised in cyber security. Current threat landscape has changed dramatically. Ransomware, supply chain infection, cryptocurrency, state-sponsored threats. Yes, it is very important, and we know that many states are basically, the threats are being sponsored by the states. So we have to be very careful when we talk about the national security and the national wealth. Greater dependence on online working due to pandemic. 5G will increase attack surface exponentially. Exponential increase in cyber crime. So basically, we are actually having approximately 2 lakh crore last year. So these are the new things which we are actually looking towards now. Why basically we are talking about the cyber security? It is obviously due to the increased number of cyber attacks. As an American cyber security firm, Palo Alto Networks 2021 report, Maharashtra was the most targeted state in India, facing 42% of all ransomware attacks. The report stated that India is moving among the more economically profitable regions for hacker. Because we are not actually, I think, developed. We have to see how we can safeguard our password. I remember that in my case also, I have in most of the cases, we have large number of portals now, and in most of the email IDs, most of the portals, I have the same email, same password. So that is again a big problem. If somebody can attack at one password, he can attack at others. So basically, we are not grown up with that type. And secondly, what type of password? How simple the password is. Many times we just put it like my date of birth and my name, with one letter capital and rest letters small. So this is the way how we people generally make these passwords. And I think we have to be educated for that what actually we need and how we can safeguard our data, our passwords. These hackers ask Indian firms to pay a ransom, usually using cryptocurrencies, in order to regain access to the data. One in our Indian organizations suffered a ransomware attack in 2021, higher the global average of 21%. Cyber welfare offensiveness. The US is just one of the many countries that have invested significant amount of money in developing not just defenses against attack, but the ability to mount damaging cyber warfare offensives. The countries which are believed to have the most developed cyber warfare capabilities are US, China, Russia, Israel, and UK. Also, we are running towards it, but certainly after sooner or later we will also be in that line. I remember that once we were asked by NIST USA, we were trying to visit USA before the just pandemic, and at that time, what they did, the NIST USA sent a format. And that was not open to all. There was a link. You have to put your data, your passport in that particular form, which was not seen to everybody. Even the person to whom you were sending the email, he was not able to see that directly. So this is the way how these people work. But I have not seen this type of security which the US NIST was taking any other country. Even the PTV Germany, when I visited, I had never seen this type of security which they are taking. So we are actually working on it, and we have to, I think, with the help of you people, I have seen certain Professor Colonel General General Pant. So all these people are working well about this, but still we have to move a lot. Again, increased digital users post-COVID, we are aware. This includes financial services, banks, parks, manufacturing, nuclear power plants, etc. For protecting critical sectors, it is particularly significant given the increasing interconnectedness of sectors and proliferation of entry points into the internet, which could further grow with the adoption of 5G. As I think that from 15th of August, we will be moving towards 5G. We will be having the connections of 5G after 15th of August, and I think Honorable Prime Minister is going to declare. There are 6.97 lakh cybersecurity incidents reported in the first 8 months of 2020. As I already told you, it is in 2021, it is 14 lakh. And now we are basically, which are being reported by CERT-In. Recent cyber attacks, if we talk about it, the malware, there has been a steep rise in the use of resources like malware by a Chinese group called Red Echo to target a large stretch of India's power sector. Red Echo used malware called Shadow Pet, which involved the use of a black door to access servers. The Chinese hacker group known as Stone Panda had identified gaps and vulnerabilities in the IT infrastructure and supply chain software of Bharat Biotech and the Serum Institute of India. For government, if we talk, a local, state or central government maintains a huge amount of confidential data related to the country, geographical, military, strategic assets, etc. and citizens. For individual, we have photos, videos, and other personal information shared by an individual on social network sites can be inappropriately used by others, leading to serious and even life-threatening incidents. For businesses, companies have a lot of data and information on their systems. A cyber attack may lead to loss of competitive information such as patents or original work, and loss of employees, customers, private data, resulting in complete loss of public trust in the integrity of the organization. If we talk about the main components of national cybersecurity strategy, it has large-scale digitization of public services, focus on security in the early stages of design in all digitization initiatives, developing institutional capability for assessment, evaluation, certification, and rating of the core devices, timely reporting of vulnerabilities and incidents. Actually, now most of the applications are online, and we are also working, all the certificates are being issued online, but we have to be very careful. Actually, we are taking all cares, but still there is a problem. If something happens, the whole data will go, and we will nothing having whatsoever the certificates were issued, whatsoever the application came, we will be having, I think, nothing. It will be we have to be very careful. Secondly, supply chain security, monitoring and mapping of the supply chain of the integrated circuits, ICT and electronic devices, electronic products, leveraging the country's semiconductor design capabilities globally at strategic, factual and technical levels, critical information, infrastructure protection, integrating supervisory control and data acquisition security. It maintains a repository of vulnerabilities, preparing and aggregate level security baseline of the sector and tracking its controls, devising audit parameters for threat preparedness, and developing cyber insurance products. What are the main components? You have already discussed: digital payments, state level cybersecurity, security of small and medium businesses. If we talk about the digital payments, we are all aware how this work. If we talk about state level cybersecurity, we have to develop state level cybersecurity policies, allocation of dedicated funds, critical scrutiny of digitization plans, guidelines for security architecture, operation and governance. See, it is very difficult as we are developing. We are observing that large number of guidelines are coming. There are a large number of websites, but still, whether we have an information of that, whether we have an awareness of that, I think that large number of people who are sitting in this particular workshop are not aware of that. Even we don't know what is the number at which we have to call if we found at any point of time that there is something, there is some problem in our with our or we have any of the problem in cyber security, or we have been somewhere tackled or somewhere logged with this cyber security. We don't know what is the number at which we call. So these are the things which we have to work. Security, how the businesses have to work. What are the steps and reports suggested? Budgetary provisions, research, innovation, skill building and technology development, crisis management. So these are the basic steps which we have to take for our next generation, for the next future, so that we can also safeguard our data. We can also safeguard our structure, our strategies, our strategical sectors. What this report suggests: a minimum allocation of 0.25% of the annual budget, which can be raised up to 1%, has been recommended to be set aside for cybersecurity. I think that it is a good amount which actually today required for a country like us. It may be difficult but fortunately, we have the maximum number of youths which have the cyber knowledge, India is the country which produces the cyber scientists or cyber technologists. In terms of separate ministries and agencies, 15 to 20% of IT or technology expenditure should be earmarked for cybersecurity. I think we are not doing that. It also suggests setting up of funds for cybersecurity and providing central funding to state to build capabilities in the same field. Research, innovation, skill building, and technology development. The report suggests investing in modernization and digitization of ICT, setting up a short and long-term agenda for cybersecurity via outcome-based programs, and providing investments in deep tech cybersecurity innovation. The CI further recommends creating a cybersecurity services which caters Sujan from the Indian engineering services. Crisis management: for adequate preparation to handle a crisis, the SCI recommends holding cybersecurity drills which include real-life scenario with their ramifications. I think government is working well on all these fields, and as we are all aware that on every Wednesday we are having a meeting of this cybersecurity, we are working on it. It is continuously to create an awareness among the people. This is one of the program through which we want to create an awareness among the large number of industries, government officers, students, and the other technological labs. Steps the report suggests: cyber insurance. It is one very important step which we can take, because we have not thought about it, that if there is some loss due to this cyber crime, how it can be insured. So cyber insurance can be one of the factors. Cyber insurance being a yet to be researched field, must have an actuarial science to address cyber security risks in businesses and technology scenario, as well as calculate threat exposures. Cyber diplomacy. Cyber diplomacy plays a huge role in shaping India's global relations. Hence, cyber security preparedness for key regional blocs like Bay of Bengal initiative for multi-sectoral, technical and economic cooperation, and Shanghai Cooperation Organization must be ensured via programs, exchanges and industrial support. To further better diplomacy, the government should promote grant India as a responsible player in cybersecurity and also create cyber envoys for the key countries region. Cybercrime investigation. With the increasing cybercrime across the world, the report recommends unbuzzing the judicial system by creating laws to resolve spamming and fake news. It also suggests charting a 5-year roadmap, factoring possible technology transformation, setting up exclusive course to deal with cyber crimes and removing the backlog of cyber crimes. Moreover, DSCI suggests advanced forensic training for agencies to keep up in the age of AI ML. If we see about the proposed National Cybersecurity Strategy 2020, it has a vision to ensure a safe, secure, trusted, resilient, and vibrant cyberspace for India's prosperity. A state of India cybersecurity, we have seen that it was in 175 in 2018, and now we have 2020 Indian cybersecurity product ecosystem grew now from 170 to 2025. Revenue split up in by sector. If we talk about BFSI, banking, financial sectors, and insurance, it is 31%. IT is 22%. Government is 7%. Healthcare is 7%. Telecom 4%. Defense 3%, and others are 26%. So this is the way how we can revenue. Say we can split up the revenue in this sector. There are some recent government initiatives for cybersecurity, Cyber Surakshit Bharat Initiative, Cyber Swachhta Kendra, Online Cybercrime Reporting Portal, Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, I4C, National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center, and Information Technology Act 2000. So these are the initiatives taken by the government. Threats and vulnerabilities, we have already discussed. Phishing, sir has already taken care of it. Phishing, what is phishing? We are all aware how the phishing affects. Example of phishing is the email. Social engineering, sir has already discussed. Malware, already discussed. Viruses, already discussed. Viruses, bombs. If we talk about the logic bombs, it is a programming code that is designed to execute or explode when a certain condition is reached. Most of the time it goes off when a certain time is reached or a program fails to execute, but these bombs wait for a triggered event to happen. Most common use of this is in the financial or business world. Most IT employees call this the disgruntled employee syndrome. Trojan horse is a program or software designed to look like a useful or legitimate file. Once the program is installed and opened, it steals information or delete data. Trojan horses compared to other types of malware is that it usually runs only once and then it is done functioning. Some create backdoor effects. So these are the basic worms: email worm, internet worm, zombie and botnet, adware and spyware, exploited, identity theft, denial of service attacks, I already discussed, ransomware, business or official email compromise, business email compromise, business email compromise. In COVID-19, there were large amount of cyber threats when you use this fake oximeter app to steal mobile data. We were asked to just upload or download this particular app, and you can check your you can use it as an oximeter. When somebody was downloading it, it was working as a threat. It was OTP fraud call. It was other type of threats that yes, you just download this, and if there's any problem of medicine, etc., there was some problem. And this is cyber threats during this COVID-19. World Health Organization has also written this safety measures, declared some safety measures for this. In COVID-19, Google 18 plus million COVID-19 emails in just 1 week, in addition to 24 million daily COVID-19 spam messages, phishing up 667% right now. FBI IC 4x complaints per day, 148% spike in ransomware attacks, 30 to 40% increase in attacker interest relating to RDP, 26% increase in e-com web skimming in March. Healthcare, financial services, medical suppliers, and manufacturing, government and media outlets all seeing a large increase in cyber threats. Cybercrime, we have already discussed the computer as a target, the computer as a weapon, the computer as an accessory. So these are basically just cyber crime, which is basically a generic term that refers to all criminal activities done using the medium of communication devices, computers, mobile phones, tablets, etc. This is already sir has discussed what are the type of cyber crimes. I'm not going to discuss it again. These are the 5 type of cyber criminals we have already discussed. Yes, this is one type of this. If you just open it, and you will find that the spamware enters. Hacking, we are all aware. Sir has already discussed ethical hacking. system hacking, cybercrime as a service, the rise of cybercrime as a service. Cybercrime as a service is a top threat. Exploit kits, toolkits for hire that makes cybercrime easier by automating the creation and delivery of malware remain the biggest threat. They account for 50% of attacks. Cybercrime as a service. Surface web is only the tip of iceberg. Global cybersecurity trends. Recent studies reveal three major findings: growing threat to national security, web espionage becomes increasingly advanced, moving from curiosity to well-funded and well-organized operations aimed at not only financial but also political or technical gain. Increasing threat to online services affecting individuals and industry because of growth of sophistication of attack techniques. Emergence of a sophisticated market for software flaws that can be used to carry out espionage and attacks on government and critical information infrastructure. Findings indicate a blend line between legal and illegal sale of software vulnerabilities. Mischievous activities in cyberspace have expanded from novi to organized criminal gangs that are going high-tech. Attack today are automated. It's not some dude sitting at his hacker desk all day typing out ping commands to IP address via the command promptly, manually. How we protect information? People, training, education, awareness, and repetition. Repetition is very much required. Again and again, the same thing we are learning, we are listening, and I think that will help us in developing this knowledge, this information, how to safeguard our information. Process, governance, oversight, policy, reporting, technology, firewalls, IDS, ISP, SIEM, anti-malware. So all this we are doing. Strong passwords, logging, monitoring, which is the weakest link we have to see. Social engineering best practices. Use your security spider sense. Always validate request for information. If you are not 100,000% sure, call a number you know, Google it. Always ask questions. Is this who I think it is for sure? For sure. Did someone mention this to me personally, or was it discussed at a staff meeting? Is this the first I am hearing about this? Best practices. Avoid using free web-based emails for business. Not only less professional, but easier to hack, typostat, or spoof. Domains and email addresses are cheap, especially compared to BC. Register similar domains to yours to prevent typosquatting, that is telepex.com versus telepex.com. Basically, there is a very small change, a small difference in the spell, otherwise everything is common. DELAPLEX and DELAPELX. So it's a very small, just E here and there. Be careful, as sir has already informed, that there is when you see there are large number of sites which just represent that they are the government sites, but they are actually not the government, they are the spamwares. Be careful about the information you share on your website, on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, about job duties or positions, especially for positions with transactional or purchasing authority. Think thorough out of office email responders. Sanju, on the art of war, if you know the enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. What is footprinting? The gathering of information about a potential system or network, the find of arts, gathering information, gathering target information. If I fingerprinting, attackers point of view, identify potential target systems, identify which types of attacks may be useful on target system. Defender's point of view, know available tools, may be able to tell if some system is being footprinted, be more prepared for possible attack. Vulnerability analysis, know what information you are giving away that weakness you have. What is footprinting? System, local or remote. IP address, name and domain. Operating system type, Windows, Linux, Solaris, Mac. Version, XP, Vista, 7, 10, Red Hat, Fedora, SUSE, etc. Usernames and their password. File structure, open ports, network or enterprise comprises system information for all hosts in one network, topology, gateways, firewalls, overall topology, network traffic information, specialized servers, web, database, FTP, emails, etc., and social media. So these are basically the footprint which we live everywhere, and we have to be careful about it. Vulnerability scanner, functionality of vulnerability scanner are far different from firewall or intrusion detection system. Vulnerability scanning tools helps you in protecting your organization from any kind of security risks or threats by scanning with deep inspection of endpoints to ensure that they are configured securely and correctly. The prime aim of running a vulnerability scanner is to identify the devices that are open for vulnerabilities. Types of vulnerability scanner: port scanner, network vulnerability scanner, web application security scanner, database security scanner, host-based vulnerability scanner, ERP security scanner, single vulnerability test, etc. So these are basically type of this. If we talk about the virus detection, simple antivirus scanners look for signatures, heuristic for recognizing code associated with viruses. For example, polymorphic viruses often use decryption loops, integrity checking to defeat file modifications, keep track of file sizes, checksums, keep feed HMACs of contents, generic decryption and emulate CPU execution for a few hundred instructions, recognize known virus body after it has been decrypted, does not work very well against viruses with mutating bodies and viruses not located near beginning of infected executable. Cybersecurity and privacy starts and ends with us. Commit to a disciplined practice of information security and continue to refresh yourself so you don't become a part of vulnerability in our security defenses. If we just go about this cyber summary, what we can say, what we have just discussed about it, cybersecurity will require a significant workforce with deep domain knowledge. Almost everything is hooked up to the internet in some sort of form. Recent events have widened the eyes of many security experts. The ability to gain access to high security organizations, infrastructures, or mainframes has frightened many people. Could one click of the mouse start World War III? So basically, this is just we have discussed about this recent government initiatives. Government has done this certain directions issued under Section 70B of IT Act on 22nd April 2022, under which it has been asked that all the NTP service providers, network time protocols service providers, they should have the time links from the time given by the National Physical Laboratory, conduct of NCX, RBI guidelines, and I say cyber security guidelines for government employees, guidelines of prevention of misleading advertisements by the Department of Consumer Affairs on 9th June, Cyber Swachhta Kendra devices, notification of banks, etc. Guidelines for power sector, guidelines on telecom sectors, audit baseline, initiatives by Minister of Home Affairs, I4C. What are the components of I4C? National Cybercrime Threat Analytic Unit. These are the basic things which the government has worked. This is ransomware, impact on India, proposed National Security Counter Ransom Task Force, proposed working group, international cooperation initiatives, how the internationally the governments, the other countries are working for these cooperation. If we talk about all this, we have seen that basically we being the persons of legal metrology. If we talk that we are the member countries of International Organization of Legal Metrology, at OML also we are working on this system, how we can develop the digital certificates which cannot be tampered, which cannot be altered, or which can be, but again, the problem of this type of cyber crime, cyber threats will always be there. We have to be careful about it. And as we are talking about this, right now we are sitting at Regional Reference Standards Laboratory, and we have large number of technical facilities for calibration and testing of weights and measures. We have large number of testing facilities. If I just go through it, mass balances of even class weights, E2 class weights, and all type of balances up to 5-ton weights, and from micrograms to tons of weights, temperature, dimension, pressure, test sieves, force, torque, flow, tank calibration, etc. We have all type of facilities, and as government has stopped this from 1st of July, from yesterday onwards, the single-use plastic has been prohibited. So these are the basic information which I wanted to share with the participants, that how we are working in this world of legal metrology, how we just want to share our information with the participants, what are the things happening in our country. So this is the basic, very few information, just basic information among the participants, how we can move, how we can safeguard our data. And government is also working with all the systems, with all the technologies like National Physical Laboratory and CERT in Ministry of MIT, and then others, this NIC, and all are working in there together to safeguard the interest of all the people of the country with the strategic sector. We have with us our Director Saab, Shri Dikshit Saab. I would like to request Director Saab to kindly speak 2 words. Dikshit Saab. Director Saab. Sir.
This was a very good conference, and a lot of the people have interacted the session. I think that people will be aware from the cyber security, because in the near future it is become the very big threat to the country as well as the people of India, and wherever they have invested, that should not be lost due to such crime and all that very things. And we should also have some of the things. I think with the development of the time disseminations, we can control these very issues. But I think it may take 1 to 2 years when the time dissemination will be implemented, and then the banking system and other insurance sectors, and they will be benefited long from these very things. And then the security systems, cyber security systems, the threat of the cyber security systems may be controlled. With these very words, I thanks Mr. Ashutosh Agarwal, who has conveyed these very meetings, and the peoples and the consumers becomes aware from such a new area. And now the government is very conscious on that very things. So I thanks Mr. Vinit Mathur, Joint Secretary, Government of India also, who has provided his roles in this very conference, and to all the participants. Thanks to all, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like to thank Shri Vinod Mathur Sahab, our Joint Secretary Sahab, who has kindly inaugurated this conference. Shri Dikshit Sahab, who is with us, our Director of the Legal Metrology, and Dr. Ashish Ranjan, who has actually explained the requirements of the cybersecurity in a very easy manner. Sir, thank you very much. And I would like to request you in future also to kindly enlighten us on this topic. And we will be having, actually, I would like to have at least 2 or 3 workshops on this particular topic of about 1.5 hours or 2 hours or so that we can just create an awareness. Very soon, we are also planning to have a big workshop in Delhi at in a physical form, so that the participants can be given the basic information about this. Maybe it may be a complete one day workshop. Basically, we are working on the time dissemination project, how the time this will be disseminated in the country. We are working on this. One of these regional reference standard laboratory at which we are sitting now is the regional reference standard laboratory at Ahmedabad, from which we will develop this. Now all the infrastructural facilities have already been created. Only we are waiting for the equipments like time clocks and other things. As soon as this system will be developed, certainly we will start disseminating time in the country with the help of our National Physical Laboratory. With this, I would like to thank all the participants. Thank you very much. Now we close this session. Thank you, sir. We'll meet next time, next week. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.